This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Today we are finishing part 2 of Dark Souls. We're going to be covering all the monsters and the heroes. I decided to do something a little different. You'll see down in the video. Check it out. You could do it that way or just do whatever makes you feel good. But I went for a Frank Miller Sin City kind of look. It's with the heroes. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's go down, take a look at the rest of how to paint Dark Souls, and then so we're going to start on the main baddie, the Dark Knight, of course. What I did here is I originally spray painted this with the skeleton bone. It really helps me cut a lot of corners. And then what I did is I took a uniform gray from actually a cold gray from Vallejo, and I just painted the cowl of our main baddie. The next thing that I want to do is the same thing that I've done to the Dark Knight here. Is I took some Basilium Gray, which is a contrast paint, and I want to go over that gray, because I don't want that. I want to really darken that gray up without making it black. So all I do is just take that and really just make sure that I work it into the recesses. As you can see, I've already started it a little bit over here. Okay, and you can see how this is just, you want to be careful. You don't want to hit the flesh part, the skeletal part that you did. Okay, and you just kind of want to work this in, being very careful, taking the tip of your brush, just working. If you go over, don't worry about it. Just go over the thing. Mistakes, you're going to make mistakes, folks. And that's why they make a lot of paint, because you could just paint over your mistakes. I mean, it's as simple as that. You can't be afraid to hit things accidentally or do things that will knock you off course a little bit. Again, I'm just going to go over all this. The other thing I want to show you guys very, very quick, because we're kind of showing you a couple things here. We're going to try to finish everything up in Series 2 here, because we got some heroes and we got 2 more villains that we have to take care of. But we want to keep it a nice short video. You can see where that goes in there, and it doesn't make it totally black, but it really gives you this really grayish thing. You can see here that I'm going to have to work in here, so I'm going to finish that up off camera. Okay, and then here with this guy, it's the same thing. I spray painted him gray, actually, and then I just took some of this Basilium Gray and I went over. But we're not done with him. I mean, this guy is pretty simple, and all I want to do is just really make sure that I got that in there real nice. Don't worry about the base. We always do the base at the end, like I told you. You're going to get that in there really, really good on that shield, on the end part of that shield. And this gray works really good over a gray, because it really does give that detail. So it's not you're just painting black over something. It really just comes out and really pops this particular figure. So I'm going to finish these 2 up, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what the next step is. Now, one of the things that, while I'm waiting for the big guy to kind of dry up there, is you got 2 priests that come in this thing, okay? And what I did is I sprayed them with the skeletal bone undercoat. And it really works, because what I did is I took this Marion Cabra from Vallejo. Vallejo makes great paints, by the way. And I really love using this because it just goes on so well. So if you can find this type of thing, and it goes on over this really well, and it's going to sit up real nice, which is what I'm looking to do. So I'm going to finish. I'm going to do the other guy here, and then we'll come back and we'll continue on with what we're doing here. Now, our evil priest, we want to change their skin color. We're going to go with a Dead Flesh from Vallejo, Carne Murta? Okay, yeah, I'll go with that if that's what they say it is. I'm going to take a little bit of that, and what really helps here is that I did the undercoat with a with a skeletal bone, and it just goes on real easy. And that's all I want to do is just kind of get this on here, because I'm going to put a wash over this, and we're really going to make this as creepy as humanly possible, because that's what we do. If you're going to have evil priests, you know, they can't look cool. Even the good priest you can't make look cool. You know, normal. You gotta just, you know, gotta make everybody look creepy in some way, or else it just doesn't play into the game very well, right? And just get this on there, all right, and it really works well with the brown. You want to be careful over here with this hand, okay? Because this hand here just stands out a little bit, so you kind of just want to get over there, and then you want to make sure you get that skull on the bottom really good, because we're just going for a whole creepy thing. These guys are just real simple and easy to do, and as you can see, I've already got one all done. And now we're going to move on to highlighting, because once you get those base coats, this is where you start to bring out, and it's just so easy, so easy. Okay, while we got the little guys drying, we're going to come back to the big dog here, folks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Agrath Earthshade, one of my most used and most faithful washes, which I love to death. And what we're going to do, you can see that gray that just really sits in there. And don't worry about getting this on this black or grayish type of color that I have here, because it's all going to work out in the end. And this is where this really just starts to come together, right? Is taking and really working this in here, okay? Really making this just disgusting. Because this creature is disgusting, okay? And if you're going to have a baddie, hey, make sure he looks cool. At least to you and your group, right? Because that's half the fun. And this is just such an easy process to get this guy to where he's at. I mean, it's not much work. It works very well, okay? Like I said, using that don't worry about how much you shove in here. You can see that it's just burying itself into the recesses, and that's all we want. That's all we want. This isn't rocket science, folks. Anybody can do this. I mean, if I can do this, okay, with basically one arm after all the surgeries and everything that I've had recently, okay? You know, I'm old. What can I tell you? It happens to the best of us, okay? Our better days are behind us. My better painting days are behind me. But you know something? I can still have fun. I can still do things. And for those of you that don't think that you have talent, you do. You just don't realize it. You can do this. And you're going to get a lot of satisfaction out of this. Because this game here, from our good friends at Steamforge, this is probably one of the greatest painting games. I can tell you this much. This is probably one of the best that I found for beginner painters. And that's Tomb of the Giants here, folks. And you're going to get a lot of game out of this too. So don't think, oh, well, it's just good for painting. I'll buy it for the miniatures. No, this is a good game. This is just a good, solid, all-around game. And I think it just works for everybody involved. Okay? You're going to get satisfaction because you're going to be able to put something very thematic onto your board, onto the board. Okay, and you're going to be very proud of what you did, and that's what it is, building confidence, folks, building confidence. I keep on saying it. All right, there we go, right? Am I right? I mean, that's pretty disgusting if you really think about it, all right? And I love it, and I love it. Look at all that bone and everything like that. All right, we're going to let this dry, and then we'll come back to it. So next for our creepy priests here, or cultists, or whatever you want to call them, I'm going to take some Agrath Earthshade, okay, right there. And all I'm going to do is just go over this whole model. Over the clothing, over everything, over that green type of skin type I have. You can see it really pulls out the details, and that's what I was looking for and it just brings that color into focus. Okay, and really does a great job. I just need to get a little bit more on my brush here, folks. And you'll see that that's exactly all I want to do here. Oh, I shouldn't have touched that, but hey, that's what I do. I got a little bit much on there. I want to work it around a little bit and really get it in the recesses there. You can always shade outwards and everything will be fine. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. Just a real simple, quick, to the point job here, okay? We got our other guy here, which I've already done, but I want to get in those eyes a little bit better. There we go. And just kind of wipe that away a hair. And really just work that whole, there we go. All right. And that's all we want to do. I mean, as simple as that. They're just a simple, simple paint job. Bing, bang, boom, and get them to the table. And that's what we're looking to do. Now for the heroes, I really want to do something a little bit different here. And I'm thinking of going with a kind of sun wash or whatever they call it, that sun ability, but highlight certain things with color, because the game is so dark. So what I did is I spray painted these guys white, okay? And then what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you because there's a couple steps to this, is I am just going to take some Newell or Newellyn, however you say it. You know, I always get some dark wash, and I am going to go over it. And I'm still arguing with myself over this, and even though you may see this, I may change some things, but I just have something in my head, because if you look at the cards and all that stuff, how dark it is and how it fixates off of grays and whites and blacks, the figures. And I just figured I'd take the Newell oil and just go over the white, okay? With sun drop, that's what they call it, okay? And I'm trying to create my own sun drop, but with a couple of twists in here, okay? Just a couple of twists, and I'll show you, because what we have to do is first get this Newell oil on here, okay? And this is a different take, I understand. It's just sometimes I just would like to do things a little bit different. So for that guy, there we go. I already started this guy, and I really don't want it to pool up too much, even though I don't mind it pooling up either. But really kind of working it in there and really just letting it do its own thing in a way. I like that. Okay, and then we're just going to do our last figure here and see how that turns out. Again, not spare. I'm just using an old bottle that I had that I need to empty out, and sure enough, this is exactly kind of what I was hoping, the effect I would kind of get. And just, you'll see what I'm talking about, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but I wanted to just do something different. I just didn't want to paint the guy the same old. And again, this might be something that might be interesting for your group, you know, because it definitely, you know, takes, you know, you could tell the difference between your hero and your villain by what I'm going to do. All right, and just really get that into the recesses. Make sure I cover it real well. See? So I'm going to let that dry, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to do certain little things here, and that I think will stand out and just kind of give it a little enhancement here. So we'll be back and do more once these dry. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Retribution armor here, and for my man here, okay, he's dark, but he has like this really weird kind of golden tone to him. So I took some Retribution armor. I really don't want to put a lot on here. I just want to go over this so lightly that it's actually ridiculous. And I just kind of just touch things just a hair, because I just don't want it to overtake anything. So it's like a feather. I'm just feather dusting this bad boy. All right, that's all I'm doing. This is such an easy thing to do. You guys can do this at home so easily. This game is just superb because of how it just does what you expect it to do. All right? And boy, the people over at Steam Forge Games, I'll tell you, what a fantastic job. What a glorious, glorious job they've done producing these miniatures, which are beautiful. All right, a lot of their games are just superb, folks. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Just good old-fashioned stuff there. And that's all I want to do. I just don't even want to go very heavy. I don't want to go much further. I don't want to go out just, well, I saw that little spot there. And that's all I want. There he is. He's done. Done. That's all you're looking for. And take a look at the art in the book if you get a chance. And you'll see exactly what I'm doing here. You know, is it more light, more gold, more shadow? But it is dark. It is sinister. And that's what we want. That's what I want. And that's how it works, my friends. Now, the first thing I did is anywhere there was any kind of flesh, I took some Cadian flesh and just kind of touched lightly on it. I'm really trying to do something a little bit different here. So what I got now is I took some of this Necron compound. This stuff here, it's a dry brush, and you just want to get it on there and get it on your brush as best as you can. So that's what I'm going to do right here. And really just kind of work it in there. It'll break down and it'll just leave enough on your brush that you can kind of just dry brush from this point. So now what I want to do is just kind of go over and touch a little bit of anything that I think would be metallic a little bit. All right, like this little spot here, maybe around there a little bit. Nothing too extensive. I just want to bring certain things out very lightly. Maybe this middle medallion. All right, just to give it a little bit of a twist. Over here, for instance, we've got some chainmail for our back end. So why don't we just kind of rub that in there a little bit, right? I mean, we don't have to be extensive. I'm just kind of touching it a little bit. This, just pulling a little bit more here. This blade here, I'm not worried about really pulling it out. That I think I'm going to change and probably do a little bit of a different color. But I'm just getting this, and I painted the bases gray, and there's just little subtle things I want to do here. Nothing extensive, nothing too, I don't want to go away from the sun drop too much. Like right there. Okay. Just kind of change that color of that a little bit. Have a little bit of that metallic in there. I can, actually I'm going to go with another color over that. You're going to see what I'm going to do in a minute. All right. Just kind of bring that out a little bit. Not being afraid to really rub it in there. All right, there we go. And it doesn't take away from the sun drop that I'm trying to create. So here's the finished result. As you can see, everything all done here finally. Our skeletons. This is just one of the best sets that you're ever going to have here. And I really enjoyed doing this. I kept the bases gray, and you can see I kind of went for the Sin City Dark Miller, a Frank Miller type of thing where you just add color, but it's mostly black and white with the heroes. But I'm really happy with how everything turned out, and let's go up top and get on out of here, folks. So there you have it. I've actually got everything here. I thought it was real simple. Again, you know, a little different look with the heroes. I wanted to do something a little different, but traditionally this is a very easy set to paint up. It's a great set. It's a great game. Definitely you want to check this out. You want to get it, especially if you're a beginner painter. you're going to find that this is going to build a lot of confidence. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a playthrough and show you how great this game is. So until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you.